bachelor's degree, I imagined my future outside Iran. I was sure I wasn't going to stay there.
I never wanted to leave Iran. When my friends decided to leave Iran, I argued with them.
One of my biggest dreams was to come to the United States, always, since I was 9, 10.
Couldn't say I always wanted to leave Iran, but this dream of leaving and moving to somewhere else has always been in the air.
I had this dream about university that never came true in Iran. University was just not like what I had dreamed about. I always thought I would move somewhere abroad with my family. My family started applying for immigration to Canada. We were in the process of gathering all our documents and applications. Then my parents got divorced. We lost everything. My mom started applying again without my father from the beginning. I thought, okay, while our file is processing, I'm going to finish my bachelor's degree and graduate. But I finished school and our file is still not done. I had to stay a student, so I applied for my master's degree. I really wanted to study in Canada, but I studied for another 2 years in Tehran. I had my very last project to do to graduate, and Canada's embassy sent back all our documents and money. Our file was completely closed. I was tired. I couldn't take it anymore.
One of my friends, he said to me when he was leaving, Cyrus, we are leaving, goodbye, and you have been a good friend. I stopped him there. My response, go screw yourself. Looking back on it, it might not have been the proper response, but I was angry. I told him that if he loved Iran the way I love Iran, that he would stay and he would rebuild our country. But everything changed after the election. They and then the Great Depression happened. All people around me were affected by the Great Depression. 50% of my friends left that summer. We had an organization to keep the students of Shadi University, but the co-founder left that summer, so yeah. Another thing that changed my approach, the way I look on the world, my thought, was my sister's immigration to Australia. I remember when she told me she was gonna move, I cried. It had been such a long time since I had cried like that. Looking back though, ever since, I cry very easily. I remember I was giving my mother and my sister a ride to the airport, and on the way back, I tried to call anyone, but no one would answer my phone. It was the first time I had felt all alone. I've been scared my entire life to be that lonely.
Years ago, I came here for a year. I went to school. I used to live in San Francisco, but after a while, for some reason, we moved back to Iran. I decided to get my bachelor's there and apply for master's here, but I didn't make it. I went to Malaysia when I was 21 to study at a Canadian university, and then continued the next 2 years in Canada. But after a while of being there, I realized it's not a place to live. So I went back to Iran. I started studying graphical design, but I never finished. One of my friends told me, why don't you apply for Europe? It's much easier to get there. And I thought, maybe this is my way to America. I chose Italy. I started learning the language. It was very hard. I didn't know any Italian, and I only had 2.5 months to study. But actually, I passed with a really good score. Problem was, I didn't have any money, but I was gonna do anything to get there. To a place where I didn't know where it is. I just knew it's Milan, main city. So anyway, I went there all alone. I didn't have anyone.
I said, okay, why don't I try to go by myself without my family? I started studying for my TOEFL exam, and a guy came into my life, Shadi. He lives in America. He told me,
They all get student visas. Why don't you try and apply yourself and come to America?
I thought it was a good idea. So I started applying for some universities in America. Suddenly, I was thinking of going to America.
She was, I didn't know her very well. She was one of my Facebook friends, but she had one of those faces. And when she smiled, you want to smile.
I hate that city now. I hate it. I mean, it's such a beautiful city and it has a lot of amazing museums, but it was the worst time of my life. I was all alone. I had the worst roommates. The weather was terrible. I remember it was minus 40 degrees on some points, and I was alone.
Everything was ready for me. I fell in love, I think. I don't know. I'm still trying to grasp my own story.
When I got to the airport, I didn't know I wasn't in the city. So I came out, I looked around, and I was like, okay, it doesn't look like a city. So I asked someone, excuse me, where am I?
Bella, signorina, you're an hour away from the city.
Thank you. So I got a ticket, I went to the city, I sat down at a restaurant, put down all my luggage, got a cup of coffee and said, okay, now what?
Said and I planned a vacation together. I really thought he was the one. I mean, he was charming and successful. What else did I want? But until I met Mahdi. We started a little, dating. But from the second time I met with him, I had to tell him all about Saeed. I thought, okay, I've had this dream about university and going abroad, studying what I really loved, and Saeed was there helping me with everything. This was perfect, this was the plan. But Mahdi... No, I couldn't get my feelings for Mahdi ruin my plans. I had to focus on my plans, I had to go on. But my relationship with Mahdi was getting stronger and stronger. To be honest, I was falling in love with him. It was a really bad time to apply for schools. On the other hand, the elections were coming up in Iran, and we had no idea what was going to happen. My dad kept pushing me to leave Iran before the elections, so nothing would jeopardize my plans. So I started applying for this university that was available at the time, not in the field that I loved, but I had no other choice. I didn't want to think about it. I just wanted to leave Iran, my family, and Mahdi behind.
There was a time I was happy in Iran. I remember I used to act in theater. I loved the craft, everything about the craft, beautiful art. I wrote for the Etimad newspaper. We thought we were doing something useful at the time, but I was still alone. And that loneliness, you ever get that feeling in your stomach that it's like not, you feel sick and like it's like nausea. I don't know if you understand. If you understand, I'm sorry. It's a little harder to explain in person, but that's how I felt. But at the same time, I was falling for Sadaf. But I wanted to fall in love. I needed to fall in love. She was my friend, but at the same time, she was everything to me. Everything. I don't know why I did everything I did, but at that moment, I felt I'm in love. I did. Whoever saw her liked her, my mom, my sister, my friends, they loved her. Oh, they loved her so much. I also had this other dream, to become a father, to have a family. But looking back on it, I guess that was just because I wanted to be less lonely. She was in England at the time, and we couldn't come to England. So we had a plan. Our plan was to come to America as a family, get our visas, and then go to England, and I was going to work things out. I never wanted to stay here. That was never the plan. So I applied to work from Iran for America, and I was under so much pressure from Sadaf, from my parents, mostly me. I was trying so hard. You have to believe me, I was trying really hard. But it's just, you can't just try and things happen. You try and sometimes it doesn't happen. And there were things I couldn't do. I was trying, and there were things I couldn't do, and I couldn't do the things that I needed to. I was like a child. I was like a child trying to be grown up. I didn't mean like, it wasn't like exact. You know what it is? It's not me. It wasn't my fault. It's the way we are raised. It's our culture. It's the way we raise our children. We raise our children so that they stay children. We don't want them to grow up. And I know how that sounds, but we don't. We don't want them to grow up. We want them to stay as children, as Hanet Shiba Miyamad. And I'm sorry. I remember there was a time Sadaf had said to me,
I had to think.
I told her, every time you say, I have to think, you are killing me. You're killing me every day slower and slower. Please, if you love me at all, just kill me once and end it. She didn't answer my calls the next day. She didn't return any of my calls for the next few days, actually. And then, a few days later, I received a text.
It's over.
ریحان میدهد لبهات هات
I found a place to live. The owner was half Iranian, half Italian. It was a nice place, nice part of the city, but after a while I found out the wife was crazy and she hated me. She would scare me in the middle of the night and give me so much trouble, so I decided I was going to move out. One of my friends on Facebook told me he's looking for a roommate and asked me if I wanted to move in with him. So I said, okay. I was done with that place. I was depressed. I hated the city. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to stay home and be on Facebook 24/7. I begged my family to find me a ticket to go back to Iran. I don't want to stay here anymore. I don't care about my education, my future, United States. I just want to go home and sleep in my own bed. My mom told me,
Hormonet Baram, you can come back whenever you wish, but since you're already there, just apply for a tourist visa. Just try it, just give it a shot.
So I got an appointment from the US Embassy. The problem was I needed 5,000 euros in my account, and I only had 2 days to get the money. My family couldn't send me any money because of the sanctions. Our accounts have been frozen for 2 months. So I posted on Facebook, I need money. Some of my friends lent me some money, but it was still 2,000 euros short, and I only had one day. So I was just on Facebook waiting for a miracle when this guy messaged me. I didn't know him. He said,
I will give you this money.
"Are you kidding me? Who are you?"
That doesn't matter. You need money, and I will give you this money.
So we decided we were gonna meet in the center of Paris City, and he actually came with 2,000 euros. I told him, "I don't have anything to give you that will assure you I'm gonna pay you back. I need my passport and everything for the embassy tomorrow."
I mean, when I decided to give you this money, I wasn't thinking about getting it back. You want to give me money back? It's up to you.
I had to ask him, "Why are you doing this?"
You know, Hafiz.
He made all his decisions based on Hafiz. He actually gave me the poem too.